So Oklahoma City might feel like this city that you just can't wrap your head around, especially if you got premeditated thoughts on what you expect Oklahoma City to be. So if you're thinking about putting Oklahoma City on your list as one of the places you want to move to this year, we gotta be honest for a second. The city can feel like a mystery metro, especially when you're thinking about relocating here and trying to decide what's gonna be the best place for you to call home. On one side, you got parts of the metro where you see a few cranes in the sky, right? For the new developments that are popping up, buildings are becoming part of the city skyline, and it really feels like things are happening here. But then on the other side of town, you got these pockets of neighborhoods. Some are coming with parks, restaurants in the community, some are coming with walking trails, and some areas even have like these luxury clubhouses as the new communities are starting to be developed. Some parts of the metro have been around for a long time and they're staying the same. And then there's these spots that most folks don't even know about yet. We're talking about the areas that have really been revitalized and are up and coming areas with real upside, places that the locals are just starting to take notice of that I'm going to fill you in on today. And because of all of this Oklahoma City complexity, this is why I get asked this question all the time. Freedom, if you were moving to Oklahoma City, where would you live? And that got me thinking, right? I need to make a video that not only just highlights the city, but kind of talks about some of the moves that the city is making. So today, I'm breaking down each of these areas for you by lifestyle. And by the end of this video, you're going to know where you should move, why, what areas to actually fit your lifestyle, and will actually make you feel like you belong. Let me ask you, before we start breaking down the city and the areas that you need to be thinking about, let's talk about how much do you really know about Oklahoma City? Because before we start talking about these areas, we got to break down the lay of the land. When most people talk about Oklahoma City, they're not just talking about one city. They're talking about an entire Oklahoma City metro, and that stretches far beyond downtown Oklahoma City because the city is really laid out into rings. First, you got the urban core, which has places like downtown, Oklahoma City, Plaza District, and a few more areas that I'm going to fill you in on. Then you got the city's next ring of living, these older established cities like Midwest City, Dale City, or more. But keep heading further outside and you're walking into the suburb areas. I'm talking Edmond, Yukon, Piedmont, leaving just 35 minutes south and you're going into College Town, which is Norman. And all of these areas have really developed in the last 10 years and they're going to continue to develop. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Look, the culture, the vibe, and even the pace of life change drastically depending on where you decide to call home. Now, the urban core like downtown Oklahoma City, look, business is really flowing throughout the day with corporate meetings, business lunches, networking events, and a few happy hours. This really is the metro's most walkable area. Down here, you're going to find a lot of that walkability, and you'll find out that a lot of these places are really near local bars, restaurants, short distances from townhomes, mid-rise apartments, and even some 2- and 3-story homes. You know, the area really is filled with that climbing up the life ladder type of energy. Once you leave downtown, it gets a little bit more residential, right? You've got the metro set of suburbs, you got some of the older foundational cities that we talked about. The homes are a little bit more spread out, more space, and a slower day-to-day life than downtown. But outside of the city is that next set of suburban developments that are continuing to grow, and they're not stopping anytime soon. You know, this is going to be where the homes are a little bit newer. Brand new subdivisions are getting built like wildfire out here. Now, you might be choosing Oklahoma City because you want to start a whole new chapter in your life. Maybe even the military has got you out here and you're trying to figure out what's going to be the best place for you in this city. You might even be wanting to move because you've heard of all the growth opportunities that are happening right here in the Oklahoma City metro, especially with all the new development. It's been a main reason why people have got Oklahoma City on their list. So you got to start this journey with a whole new set of questions to ask yourself, like, what's the ideal lifestyle for you in this season? For example, do you want some of that closeness and that walkability to some of these local restaurants and breweries, still feeling really close to the action? Well, that's a whole different lifestyle than somebody who wants a quiet neighborhood, a cul-de-sac, and a big backyard. Now, the major highways in Oklahoma City are pretty easy to wrap your head around, but once you start making that drive daily from work based on where you live, that drive could matter. In my honest opinion, the 50 to 60-minute drives really shouldn't be your expectation, and let me tell you, if you're doing that drive daily, guess what? You're doing Oklahoma City wrong. Because the Oklahoma City access, everything is so close, most of the drives are going to be 20 to 25 minutes. The only reason someone will really be having a 50 to 60-minute drive is if they want that lifestyle, but you don't have to accept it because everything is so close here. Look, you've got I-40 and I-35 slicing right through the city. Then you got Kilpatrick Turnpike, which is on the outer west side of Oklahoma City, really circling around Edmond and Yukon. And depending on where you live and where you work, your commute to downtown can either be smooth or a long headache for no reason. Choosing the best area to call home is really going to be important to you and will also determine the type of lifestyle that you will feel day in and day out. So now that you got your bearings, let's start matching your neighborhood with your lifestyle. But before we get started real quick, my name is Freedom Johnson with the New Homes in OKC Relocation Guide. All I'm doing every single week is making videos for you guys to show you what's it really like living out here in Oklahoma City. So if you're thinking about making that move and the city is on your list, don't worry, I've got you covered. My channel is talking about everything to relocate, new construction, areas that you should consider, and the type of lifestyle to expect whenever whenever you're out here in the Oklahoma City Metro. So if you're thinking about making that move, all my information is going to be at the bottom of the video. It's also going to be pinned to the top of the chat. Can't wait to connect with you and help you make that move out here to Oklahoma City. All right, so now let's talk about the lifestyle aspect so you can figure out where you're going to belong in Oklahoma City Metro. And I'm gonna start this one out by talking to my young professionals. If you're that professional that you really want that live, work, play lifestyle where everything feels close by, like coffee shops, parks, and some city entertainment, let's talk about where you should be looking to move, starting with the urban core areas. Now, these are gonna be some of those neighborhoods that really bring that walkability and that energy. You're gonna get some of the food scene vibe, and there's some of the go-to areas for a lot of these remote workers, creatives, and some of the professionals that are making moves out here. Now, the areas I'm gonna be talking about are the type of areas where you can change your mornings based on your mood. Here's what I mean. On different days, you can start the day off with a quiet morning coffee on the porch, or just go to a happening breakfast cafe, or even just take a walk in the park to switch up the morning routine and still be walking or scooter distance to work. So let's start this one off by talking about downtown Oklahoma City. This is really the heart of it all, right? Because you've got townhomes, you've got condos, multi-level homes located close to like rooftop bars like the Collection and Sidecar. And all of these are really walking distance to some of the public parks like Scissortail, which is like this fitness and social hub for the entire city. Plus, you got the myriad botanical gardens. This is like this greenery with this beautiful scenery. A lot of people are coming out here to take walks and take photos. Then you're right across the street from the Paycom Center, which is where the Oklahoma City Thunder are playing every night, doing their best to win a championship. This is really going to be an area you should consider if you want to have that close to action, still be able to walk to work, have a variety of different local restaurants that you're tasting out every week, or even just hitting the food truck park after work. And with the brand new development of Valley's Inn, it's going to be so much more living for people downtown, especially if you don't want that backyard type of lifestyle and you want more of that residential apartment community life. But then you got places like Midtown. This is where old school charm is starting to meet modern living. This area is a really good fit for my young professionals in like the medical, the biotech, and even some of the entrepreneurs with all the business that's happening down here. I want you to think historic buildings that have now turned into social halls and food cafes and co-working spaces with some of the best brunches in the city. But this area is also starting to include a lot of these new modern homes being built into areas like Sosa, which is next to the major hospital, and it's really for that type of person that loves being in the mix of local events. Now, it's a little quieter than downtown, but it's still very livable, walkable, and a lot of live action going on down here. It's really great for those folks who really want that modern contemporary home with a 3-story home option with rooftop decks to really entertain guests and family as you're looking out through the city skyline. This is an area that a lot of people should consider putting on their list. Now, if you're one of those artsy and creative people, then this next area is a high contender for you. Talking about the Plaza District, right? This area has a little bit more edge with its creative vibe and architectural grit, but it's still capturing the creativity and the historic charm of the city. I want you to think buildings painted with murals from local artists, some colorful expressions throughout some of the food, some of the businesses, and even these late night pop-up events to bring the lights and the vibe of the city to the area. Now, this area is right outside of downtown Oklahoma City. It's the type of area where on one street, you'll see some historic homes getting updated, while the next street has building art with creative murals, some food truck, and some of those pop-up events that we talked about. I mean, this area really does have character as well as modern living. Brand new builds are being built out in this area. The best way I can explain this area is that if you're one of those young professionals and you want a place with some historic charm, some modern living, and character, you might want to put this one on your list. Now, it's a little less polished than some of these other areas that I'm going to talk about, but that's a part of its charm. With the great mix of townhomes, some of the historic architecture, and these 4-square homes that are for rent, some of these early 1900 bungalows being renovated, so some of the modern living and some of the city's best food tours that you will experience out here. Now, another place is going to be Deep Deuce. It's a little bit more low-key, but has this historic jazz connection to the city that kind of gives the district this really chill atmosphere. Now, the area is really known for its modern lofts, some of the jazz-inspired bars, and some of the really chill food restaurants out in the area. Apartment and condo living is just minutes from downtown. It's inside this pocket of Bricktown, Oklahoma City, where it's kind of tucked in behind the highway where you wouldn't even know it if you drove by it. It's only one of those places where you kind of feel like it's your own part of downtown Oklahoma City. It's this small, walkable, but perfect area if you want some urban built with community, some history behind it, and it being built so near the highway. It feels like you're in this pocket of downtown that just a few people know about. But this next district is really future forward type of energy. I'm talking about Willard District. It's one of Oklahoma City's only master plan urban living with modern homes, townhomes, and some mixed use development community with a bar and a restaurant, bike lanes, even a Ferris wheel. Willard District really is this place that has like community and city events kind of all just tucked in one. And one of the other areas that I had to put on this list is going to be the Oak. This is an entire live, work, play style community. Brand new development out here that I definitely think you should know about. So look, this is not just an apartment complex, right? It's located right near the heart of Northwest Oklahoma City. Trust me, this whole area is really booming because you're really close to a lot of mixed use developments. Got another area like Class and Curve that people really enjoy. So let's talk about what's here. you got this 320 unit mid-rise apartment community, right? This is where the first level is retail shopping. You got some great restaurants like Lively and Capital Grill, and the living space is really filled with options from studios all the way up to 3 bedrooms. These aren't just cookie cutter apartments, right? They really got this modern upscale feel, and it's really built for those who really want convenience and style. Now, the rents are going to start around $1,500 a month for a 1-bedroom, and it goes up just depending on your floor plan. But you're really not just paying for a unit. You're really buying into a lifestyle where in the summer, there's going to be local events. Even whenever there's major games in the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, they bring out this TV so you can enjoy the games. You got high-end furniture retailers like Our House and Restoration Hardware that also doubles as a nice restaurant. You've got this green space, the restaurants, you've got your shopping options. Everything is walkable, and even monthly events and some concerts are even starting to happen out here. This is the type of area where you can literally wake up, grab some coffee, go downstairs, get some breakfast, walk right back up to your apartment, jump online for that Zoom meeting for those remote workers. The development is really designed for people who want to feel connected, professional, on the go, kind of want everything at your fingertips. So if your vibe is to be social, energized, connect, and you want everything at your fingertips, this might be your spot. And maybe you're telling yourself that, hey, Freedom, look, I like what you're saying, but look, I've got family, I've got kids. You don't want to party downtown. You just don't want to feel isolated and live all the way in the suburbs. Well, let me tell you, I've got you covered, because next I'm going to share some of the neighborhoods that I think are some of the best for families, but still living in that urban core, still having that walkable lifestyle, and still feeling connected to everything. So let me break down some of my favorite urban family zones in OKC. These are going to be the places that give you the vibes without giving up the family values. So first up is going to be the Western Avenue district. This is right along Class and Curve and the Western Avenue. This is an older established neighborhood, but a lot of brand new homes are being built out here. And what makes this area so unique is you got boutique shops, fitness studios, and one of the top sushi restaurants called Sushi Nico right out here in this district. So a lot of new homes are being built out here on some of these older lots because it's an established neighborhood, and even some of the older homes are being renovated out here. And the area is really known for its food and boutique shopping, but since so many new homes are being here, the square footage is perfect for those families and shopping, and it's all minutes away from downtown. Next up is going to be the Paseo Arts District. Now, this area is very unique. If you want to live in a neighborhood where there's character, there's culture, walkability all in one, then this neighborhood is definitely going to check a lot of those boxes. It's really artsy, it's local, and they got some of the top restaurants and some of the best sandwich shops that you're going to find out here. And families really love this area because this is not a cookie cutter area. You're going to see historic homes. You're going to see a lot of brand new homes as well. A lot of the historic homes are being renovated, and it just feels like this welcoming indie style type of district. Seeing all these different restaurants, it just really shows you kind of like the food cultural diversity that you get out here in Oklahoma City. It's one of the things that's really underestimated about the metro. Then you got Mesta Park and Heritage Hills. This is one of those historic charmers. This is one of the places that has really maintained its legacy, and this is an area that you should put on your list as well if you're looking for that family vibe, but you still want to be downtown near everything. So I want to pause here for a second, because if you're the kind of family who really values story, character, and being close to the center of it all, then these two neighborhoods really are legit. You know, Mesta Park is walkable, it's family friendly, full of that charm. You're going to have craftsman style homes, front porches, tree-lined streets, and a real sense of community. I mean, you're minutes from downtown and Midtown because it feels like its own world, because you're going to see the type of homes that they just don't build anymore. And with a lot of these being renovated, you're still going to get some of the modern elements and the technology that you need, but the exterior of these homes is just absolutely beautiful. But then you got Heritage Hills. So if Mesta Park and Heritage Hills were siblings, we're going to call Heritage Hills would definitely be the big sister. This area is a little bit more grand, a little bit more prestigious. This is where you're going to find historic luxury homes. You're still going to find those tree-lined roads and with old legacy real estate. Now, the price tag is going to reflect luxury and history here. Now, you're not going to get these brand new homes, but that's the point of this area, right? Here, you're going to get the location, tree-lined streets, beautiful estates and homes that they just don't build them like this anymore. And you're getting all of that inside of this walkable community. You're getting a real sense of family. And even on holidays, neighbors do cool things like decorating the front porch, the front yard. Even in Halloween, people are coming from over the metro just to do trick-or-treating out in this area. I mean, I'm telling you, it's definitely a scenic feel, and you want to check out this neighborhood as well. And what makes this area such a desirable place is if you want your kids to grow up with history, legacy, you want them to grow up on a beautiful estate, have that sense of community, and be in a neighborhood where events are happening every single month, but you're still connected to the city by being in that urban core, this is definitely an area you want to check out. And even included into this list, I had to include the Wheeler District again. Now, I came back to this area because Wheeler District isn't only just for young professionals. It is a family-friendly community also, right? This is one of the most intentional, walkable communities in the entire Oklahoma City metro. Wheeler District was really designed with people in mind, not just cars. When you've got a community with sidewalks, green spaces, modern homes, a river trail that's perfect for these family bike rides and these morning jogs on a stroller, everything was built with connection location in mind, from the way the homes were built to the local events that are happening weekly. And while this area is still growing with more restaurants and more shops coming, the foundation has already been laid. So if you're the type that wants that new construction, that city feel, but still want their family life, Willow District is definitely a contender. This area is upscale, but it's not stuffy. People really love this area because of the convenience, the proximity to downtown, and it's a really great hub for local events and networking and just meeting all types of different people. Now, this next part is going to be for some of you guys who may want some of that space. You want some of that neighborhood feel, you want that community, and living a little bit outside of the downtown metro, then this part is going to be for you. Now, before we dive into these areas, let's talk about the difference between living inside and outside of the city, because they each have a very different feel. They're all going to be great for families, but the vibes, the schools, and even the lifestyle you get in each one is going to be unique. So living out into the suburbs is going to put you into cities like Edmond, Yukon, and even Mustang. And Edmond is going to be the more established and arguably the better well-known out of the three. Now, it's got a reputation for multiple top-rated schools in OKC according to niche.com. You're going to have beautiful neighborhoods, very polished, and this really suburban feel. It has the biggest variety of the amenities as well, right? Between restaurants, shopping, gyms, and even more, because it's grown so much over the years, and you've got a wide range of home styles from starter homes all the way up to the $1 million builds. The pace of life here really feels organized and active. Out here, you're going to see a lot of professionals, some dual income families, and people who really value strong school systems and resale value decide to live out here in Edmond. Now, Yukon is going to have that down-to-earth feel, and it's still neighborly. Now, it's not as polished as Edmond, but that's not a bad thing. That's really a part of its charm because of that small town energy that it's going to bring you. If Edmond feels like a private school, Yukon's going to feel more like a great public school with that hometown pride. You know, it's affordable, it's easy to navigate, it does offer a slower, more relaxed pace, and you're still close to everything because you've got I-40 and the Kilpatrick Turnpike, and you're still 20 minutes down from OKC. So it feels like its own tight-knit community. Families here are really grounded. They value space and the community, and it's really community over flash. The people that are choosing Mustang really value that small town vibe, but you're still getting that balance of the metro and some of the amenities that you need. It's really one of those cities where it's close enough to the OKC, but it's far away to still feel like a small country town vibe, and it's very peaceful here. HOAs are typically light out here, and your dollar is really going to stretch a little bit further than what it would in Edmond or even living in downtown Oklahoma City. So if you're dreaming of that space and that simplicity, still want that community feel though, where neighbors kind of become your friends and you know everyone, Mustang might be calling your name. Now let's switch gears for a second and talk about something that every family wants to know whenever you're relocating out here to Oklahoma City. Freedom. What are some of the best suburbs to raise a family in or outside the Oklahoma City metro? So whether you've got little ones or already planning for the future, you want space, that safety, you want schools and a strong sense of community, then I'm going to break down a few of the outer Oklahoma City metro suburbs that you should know about. Now, like I said earlier, Edmond is one of the most sought after cities in the metro, and Deer Creek is going to be one of the suburbs that you might want to think about. You know, if you're looking for top rated schools, master plan communities, neighborhood parks, and a mix of new builds with larger lots, then Deer Creek is definitely going to deliver. You know, it really feels like its own peaceful pocket just north of Oklahoma City, but you're still close to things like Quail Springs Mall, Chisholm Trail, and Memorial Road with all the shopping and the dining that you need. Now, most homes out here are going to start in the upper 300,000s, and they go up from there depending on the size of the lots that you're looking for. But you're going to have options of traditional and some of those modern styles. Families love it because it has a strong sense of community, a lot of newer schools, family, local events, and enough space to breathe without sacrificing that convenience. Now, next up in Yukon, I'm going to call this section the Overholser Zone, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, west of Oklahoma City, listen, Yukon is booming, and one of the areas behind Lake Overholser has a lot of brand new homes literally everywhere from all different price points, and that's why I'm calling it the Overholser Zone, just because of where it's located. This isn't one of these highly trafficked areas, packed in suburbs type of feel. It's not that at all, right? It's tucked just enough behind the beaten path of this lake access where you get quiet streets, well-kept homes, and a strong family feel. The Yukon public schools are very competitive. Many homes in different communities are brand new builds with modern finishes, traditional finishes, open concept layouts, and it's really perfect for growing families or for families that just value having that lake access, right? You've got access to things like Route 66, I-40, and Kilpatrick, which really makes commuting into the city very easy, but most people love it because there's enough life activities here. I'm talking park, splash pads, sports leagues if you've got children, and parks. So right behind Overholser, you've got this zone of just many different suburbs that you could live into, and you still got that access access life, and this is why I'm calling it that. Now, the price range of homes can vary out here, depending on $200,000 from the starter homes all the way up to your $1 million estates and your gated communities. But the overholster zone has such a wide variety that you're seeing, because you're not just getting people who are just relocating, you're getting people who want to move up and want these finer homes. Some of these custom homes and some of these high luxury builders are even building out here in this area. Next up is going to be Mustang, and one of the suburbs that comes to mind is going to be the enclave at Creekside Village, right? It's a beautiful neighborhood with a lot of brand new construction homes, and the development is growing as we speak. Mustang schools are going to be consistent, and it's part of the Oklahoma City that's going to give you that fast access to the airport and more. Even Norman, if you feel like wanting to catch one of the OU games, right? You're going to see a lot of young families here, playgrounds, you're going to see backyard barbecues, evening walk, and even during the summertime, Mustang does something really cool where they have this July 4th event where people are literally coming from all over the city just to pop fireworks and see some of the fireworks that are popping out here. Now, homes out here are typically starting in the mid 200,000s, and they can go up. And because there's so many builders out here, a lot of the builders are giving incentives if you're buying new, but it's really great because you're getting that community pride, good school ratings, room to grow out in the area, and still having that small town feel that people are looking for. So if you're valuing great schools, safe neighborhoods, and that community feel, Edmond, Yukon, and Mustang is going to deliver on one of those three. And these are three of the top cities that people are wanting to move to when they're thinking about expanding their family and relocating out here to the Oklahoma City area. So if you're planning to move with your family, make sure that you're not just buying a home, but you want to buy into a lifestyle and kind of have that community. I really think you should be considering these areas. Now, let's flip the script for a second and talk about the other end of the spectrum, because where we're headed to next is where OKC's wealthiest choose to live, and some of these places are going to blow your mind. If home elegance is a priority for you and you're looking for something elevated, not just the neighborhood, I mean luxury living, then we're talking about gated communities, private golf courses, homes with architectural detail, and amenities that really cater to that higher end lifestyle. This is where some of those high-powered CEOs, multi-millionaire entrepreneurs, even some pro athletes and old money families choose to live. Oklahoma City has options, and these neighborhoods are where I start if I were looking for prestige, privacy, and long-term value. First up is going to be Nichols Hills. Nichols Hills is really that legacy crown jewel of luxury living out here in the Oklahoma City metro. I want you to think manicured lawns, classic architecture, estate-style type of homes, tree-lined streets that look like something out of a movie. Now, if this place is speaking to you, then you're going to be near some of the best shopping around in the Oklahoma City metro. And one of the places that comes to mind is like Class and Curve, right? This is where you're going to have good shopping, nice dining. You're going to have some high-end boutiques and retail. It's really all there in Class and Curve. People that are moving into Nichols Hills is not just for the lifestyle, although that's one of the main attractions to moving in this area. It's also for the legacy play and the investment in your community, but also an investment into real estate. This neighborhood has held its value for decades, and it continues to attract these executives, athletes, entrepreneurs, and a lot of those legacy families who want top-tier living inside the metro. So if you're after proximity to downtown plus true luxury, Nichols Hills really is the name of the game that stays on top of the list. Homes here are going to range from $600,000 and up into the $1 million estates with these new builds, many custom designs that have that historic feel, and even some of that modern contemporary, depending on the builder who's building your property here. Now, the vibe here is really quiet elegance. This is where good money meets luxury. So if you're looking to move into one of Oklahoma City's more established luxury neighborhoods, this is it, and access to some of OKC's wealthiest, well-connected, and private schools. Next up is going to be Galardia. Now, this is a gated golf course community located northwest of Oklahoma City, and trust me, this one is prestigious as well. I mean, from the moment that you drive through the entrance, it feels like a private resort, right? Homes in Galardia are large, they're custom, and they sit on some of these most beautiful lots with stunning architectural detail. Some of the homes here are coming with basketball courts and tennis courts in the backyards, and even some of the homes have sightlines to the country club and some of the best golfing that you're going to get out here. You've got a private country club, championship golfing in the country club, and some of the amenities come with private events reserved and designed for people who really value networking and community in this space. Price points in here are going to start in the millions, and depending on the size and the lot, it can get as big as your imagination wants. So if you're coming from one of those markets like Scottsdale, Florida, or even Texas and want that executive lifestyle feel, Galardia is definitely going to be a neighborhood that's going to deliver. Next up is going to be Quail Creek, right? It's a little bit of a sleeper, but if you know, you know. It's an older established neighborhood with massive lots, beautiful mature trees, and a ton of character. Some of these homes are updated and some are full remodel opportunities, and there's still brand new builds coming out here every now and then, which means you can get in and build equity in this luxury location. You've got access to Quail Creek Golf and Country Club, and you're just minutes from all the shopping and restaurants on Memorial Run. Now, the price points here are going to range from $400 up all the way up into the millions, depending on how updated updated the home is, but if you're looking for that charm, privacy, and a great long-term play, I really think Quail Creek is a solid move. And then you got Rose Creek in Edmond now. Rose Creek is another master plan, guard-gated golf community with custom luxury homes. It's known for its modern designs, high-end finishes, and its safety. Families really love it because of the access to the Deer Creek schools. Professionals love it because of the prestige and the golf course and the community event. Now, the homes are going to range from the 600,000s all the way up into the millions, with new builds still going up. So if you want that neighborhood that feels tight-knit, high-end, Rose Creek should definitely be on your list as well. Now, a recent development that's been popping up is the Manors at Annecy. And I think what people are liking about this one is because you're still getting that Gaillardia access, but it's located right across the street from Gaillardia, but you're getting even newer homes out in this area. Customs are starting up at the Manors at Annecy, starting from the millions, but you're getting some of the most curated builders out here. Now look, not everybody wants that golf course community or those large private estates. It's not for everybody, and I get it. Some of the smartest investments I know are people that are really looking for those up-and-coming areas. So let's talk about parts of Oklahoma City that are quiet right now, but they won't be for long. These are the areas where you can still get in early before Starbucks starts to move in, before the big retailers start to build out, and it's still underrated. So if you want to be ahead of the curve and catch some of that appreciation before everybody else starts to catch on, this is where you should be looking. Some of the up-and-coming areas like Western Avenue District, this is really for that urban buyer who wants to live close downtown Oklahoma City, but wants to be near the action, but not pay those downtown prices. Western Avenue really is a corridor that runs through the northwest Oklahoma City, and it really is evolving fast. You've got local shops, restaurants, fitness studios, historic homes, all in the same stretch. Now, it borders Nichols Hills. One of the benefits is that it borders Nichols Hills to the east and Penn Square is to the south, so location-wise, this is a prime location. Homes are starting to get renovated, and brand new builds are getting built in this area as well, so it's really turning into this hip, livable area that's still accessible to everything. Western Avenue really does have that mix of it's cool now and it's only going to get better. Next up, I want to start to put Piedmont on your radar, and I'm going to tell you why. Although Piedmont is not a brand new community or a city, it really is experiencing a period of growth that is worth checking out. This charming suburb is located near the edge of Oklahoma City in the metro area, which makes it an easy commute for people who are working in Yukon, Edmond, or even downtown Oklahoma City. And that short and easy commute is really one of the main reasons why so many residents are starting to flock towards this once tiny farm community town. And the Piedmont schools are only getting better, which is another reason why so many families are starting to gravitate towards this area. In addition to that, the city of Piedmont is currently working on several big pushes to help bring major employers to the community, and they've orchestrated the building of two very large industrial complexes, which in turn has brought more home builders and subdivisions to the area. So the number of available single-family properties is constantly increasing due to this increased demand. And buyers even have the options of customizing the home due to their liking by opting for a new build over an existing home out. All right, I know we covered a lot, but now that you've got a real breakdown of what living in Oklahoma City actually feels like, not just on a map, but in real life, you can see that you've got many options of choosing how you want to live depending on what's going to be the right fit for you out here in the metro. So here's a quick recap. For those young professionals who want walkability, energy, and lifestyle, I want you to think downtown, Midtown, Plaza, Willa District, or even the Oak are going to be some of your best bets. For those families who still want that school, space, and community, I want you to check out Edmond's Deer Creek, Yukon, Overholser Zone, or even Mustang. And for some of those luxury buyers who want that privacy and prestige, I want you to think Nichols Hills, Gaillardia, Rose Creek in Edmond even. And for some of those value hunters, some of those who want that growth and that upside, I want you to think Western Avenue District and even Piedmont. And listen, there's so many more places that you could be choosing. So if you're still in that deciding mode and you're trying to figure out what's going to be the right move for you, don't worry, I've got you covered. I've got more videos that you could check out right here if you're thinking about what's the next move for you. So if you're planning on a move or you're still feeling unsure, don't hesitate, guys. Just reach out. We help people like you figure these things out every single day. You know, all my information is going to be pinned at the bottom of the video and pinned to the top of the chat. So make sure that you call us, text us, or even schedule a Zoom call. That's one of the best ways that I love connecting with you guys and really helping you research what's going to be the best move for you. And if you're still in research mode and you're binge watching these next videos, then don't worry, I've got you covered. I created a whole playlist right here that I want you guys to check out, and I'll see you on the next video.